The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets have received some surprise praise from some coaches around the NFL. We'll talk about that and much more. Dylan Tereman joins us. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
I got just the guy to get us going tonight.
Each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go. Show number 2 on the day. At the end of this show, I'm giving away a Justin Fields jersey. So gift a channel membership to be eligible. Shout out to everyone who continues to tune in to Jets content in June. We actually had some kicker news we hit on during the first show. And today we'll talk about some new quotes from some coaches around the NFL that are praising the New York Jets. But for the first time since he was involved in a very serious car crash, we welcome back to the show, Dylan Tereman. Dylan, glad that you are doing well. I hope that you continue to recover, and I appreciate you always making time for us, man. How are you?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I am so glad to be out of this chaotic last 3 weeks that it's been with the strep throat and then the car accident. I couldn't even watch the Nick Shine show on Sunday night because I was laughing too hard in bed. So I had to turn it off because it was hurting my ribs. So I appreciate everybody who's extended a recovery message, any type of recovery message that I've gotten from everybody. I mean, you guys are incredible. Feeling a lot better. It still hurts a little bit, but I'm back to work. So if I'm back to work, I can be back to this. So happy to be back.
Well, it's good to get you back. And look, no promises you won't laugh a lot during the show. I mean, the AsManiacs are out of control at times.
Yeah, the longer I stay on, I'm sure the more it's going to hurt with the laugh. But that's to be expected, of course.
No doubt. All right, so, you did a whole video talking about the Jets kicker situation. And it's funny because I know in that video you said, well, Anders Carlson probably still has the leg up because he's got some experience. Well, the Jets said, hey, Dylan, you're wrong. See you later, Anders Carlson. He was released. So now you have Cade Davis versus the thicker kicker as the Jets kicker battle. First things first, your thoughts on the thicker kicker and then just in general, the Jets kicking situation entering training camp.
Yeah, it just goes to show how much I don't know about this team, of course. But that was just my assumption yesterday, of course. And I'm not going to make a second back-to-back video in the middle of June about these kickers. So one way or the other, we're going to have a new face kicking the ball for us. Hopefully a lot more than we were last year, especially with Greg the Leg going, 9 for 15. So you get the thicker kicker in there. I mean, shades of Sebastian Janikowski. Like if he goes out holding like a PBR, smoking a Newport or something to kick his first field goal, I wouldn't be surprised just due to his sheer size. Like I had somebody comment, like he was at the Goat House at Blue Mountain State, like all the funny stuff that comes along with it. But he seems like he's a legit kicker. Like I know he's got a big gut, but if he's got a big leg to back it up, I'm cool with it. So 61-yarder against K-State in 2023, it was a SEC record. So clearly there's something to like there. Obviously they wouldn't make this move and cut their most veteran kicker if they didn't have, some kind of plan about what they're going to do. Obviously if we get into camp and this guy and Davis aren't doing well, you're probably going to have to keep, turning over stones to find the new kicker. But it seems like they have a plan, hopefully, with one of these two guys being the new kicker. And I mean, special teams is important. I don't know how important it's going to be to this new regime in year one, but you have to start somewhere. And I think getting Greg out, obviously Morstead we can, debate about, but getting a new kicker was the first step in turning this special teams unit around for sure.
I am just concerned that both the kicker and the punter could end up potentially being two guys that have never done it in regular season games. That does concern me a little bit. I know they're not all in the win this year and all that, but if we want this team to be better than we think, special teams can be the difference in games. And if we have a rookie kicker, rookie punter, that does concern me, especially early on in the season.
100%. And I think the rookie punter to me is more of a concern. Obviously, kicker is important if you're, missing long field goals or even, 43-yard field goals like Greg seemed like he was doing last year. It's not going to be good. But the punter to me specifically is important because if you're in a backed up situation on offense and you can't get a first down and you need to flip the field, I don't know if Kai Kroger has the leg to get there. His hang time in college was like sub 4 seconds, which I don't think is great for NFL metrics. So you want to be able to, get your offense out of a situation and put your defense back on the field, at least in a favorable position with punter. So I would say punter to me is more of the concern. We've seen these kicker battles. Like, why the hell did we get rid of the guy who went to Seattle that I'm blanking on his name now?
Jason Myers.
There you go. Yeah. Ever since then, it's like we've seen the kicker rotation, but punter to me, I think is honestly more important. I know kicker scores points, but when you got to flip the field, when your offense gets stopped at their own 6-yard line and you're punting out of the back of your own end zone, you need a guy that's going to, one, get it out quick, and he's going to get it out high enough to get the coverage down there and flip the field. And hopefully they're starting on the 40 instead of the 40 on our side of the field. So it's definitely a concern. Obviously it remains to be seen. Once the season starts, you'll know just how much of a detriment or potential benefit the special teams is going to be, but it's not like a huge, concern. It's not going to derail the season, in my opinion, if Mevis can't hit a 55-yarder in crunch time.
So I'm going to need you to put on your Scouts hat here, Dylan, because Tyler wrote in, the kicker is thicker than beast. So is the thicker kicker, is he thicker than Beast Breaker 666?
242 pounds is his listed weight. I'm going to go out on a limb and say by a couple pounds, and I'm using that very liberally, a couple pounds, Beast is a bit thicker. I'm going to say Beast weighs north of 250.
Here's one more clip of Beast just to give you another angle on film to break down.
Those are some fire hydrant type arms. I don't know. Like I do think Beast is a little bit thicker. Maybe there's a goal line package for this kicker in the future too. Who knows?
I saw a great comment here from JD. He goes, "We'll be a 4th down and 2-point conversion team by week 4." Yeah, the special teams are brutal. No punting. We're going for it Madden style on 4th down every time, and we're going for 2. That's it.
Hey, the Lions did that in many situations where I didn't expect them to last year. It was like, oh, this is a very simple 4th and 2. They're probably going to punt it, and they're on their own 35-yard line, and they come out and they do it. Or they're up by like 2 scores and they go for 2 because analytically the numbers say go for 2 and make it harder. So, I mean, I'm cool with it. I like the no holds barred style where you're not really kicking the ball, you're just throwing it around the yard, handing it off to Breece, hopefully. So,
not too shabby. All right, if you're tuned in live, you might have missed the announcement right at the start of the show. Justin Fields jersey. I'm giving this away at the end of the show, so gift a channel membership to enter in our Justin Fields jersey raffle. If you gift 5 memberships or more, I will double it, whoever is the first listener to do so. Shout out to Marvelous and the Great Black Gypsy. They are in the Fields jersey raffle after they each gifted a channel membership. I was reading a story that Field Yates put together on ESPN.com where he spoke with scouts, executives, coaches all across the league and asked them for their thoughts on some of the moves that were made throughout the NFL offseason. And the Jets were mentioned in this story a couple times. I'll pull up the first quote here. This is from a NFL offensive or defensive coordinator. The story didn't specify which coordinator. It actually, I guess, could be special teams coordinator as well. But the quote in the ESPN.com story was, a defensive head coach is going to run the ball with Breece Hall and a dangerous weapon to complement the offense in Fields. AG will help the defense be even better too. This was in response to what was one of the best coaching hires. And a lot of people talked about Vrabel. A lot of people talked about Ben Johnson. But this coordinator was talking about AG. So, Dylan, is this a fair evaluation on what we should hopefully expect Aaron Glenn to be able to do for the Jets?
Yeah, 1000%. This is going to be the guy that you have to lean on. I mean, yes, we all hope and pray that Fields can turn it around, be Darnold, be Geno Smith, even Baker Mayfield, but we need Breece Hall to be Breece Hall, the type of running back that, like against Denver in his first 2 years, he just hit the hole and nobody could stop him. The safety could take the best angle at him, and it didn't matter. Breece Hall was either going to run faster than him or bounce off him and take it for 70 yards. So I think this quote, I mean, if you're a defensive coach and you're looking at the makeup of this team, you have to be reliant on the run game. We've said it a couple times. They're probably going to lead the league, maybe top 3, top 5 at worst in rushing attempts as a team. And I wanted to quote one of Glenn's tweets. He said, among all NFL running backs with at least 25 carries of 10 plus yards, only one running back had fewer attempts than Breece Hall, and it was J.K. Dobbins. So Breece Hall was very, I guess efficiently explosive when you consider he only had 209 carries, but he had 25 that went 10 or more yards. So Breece was still explosive for not being the Breece that we're accustomed to seeing in 2022 and 2023. But there's no reason for me to think that if he's fully healthy, he can't get back to that form. And I know the whole running back by committee, they're going to use Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis, but I really think Breece is going to command like 75% of these running back carries. And he's going to be the make or break, probably the X factor on offense. Obviously, Garrett Wilson and his chemistry with Fields is important, but dude, Breece Hall is the X factor on this offense, if you ask me.
It almost feels like Breece Hall has become underrated because a year ago, he was the first pick in some fantasy drafts. We were all giddy about him. I know I was. And he had a bad year. He even said that when he spoke to the media last week before they broke for summer. I think the way we now have talked about Breece and some of the trade stuff out there, I think he's almost underrated now, where I could see Breece Hall bouncing back and being a lot closer to the guy we saw coming off the ACL injury in 2023, where he was second in the NFL behind McCaffrey among running backs in yards from scrimmage. I could see Breece Hall, contract year, offensive line being on paper the best the Jets have had in a decade, a scheme that's built to run the ball. I think he could have a really big year if he stays healthy. It wouldn't shock me at all if Breece Hall is the team MVP when it's all said and done.
Yeah, from a production standpoint, I would totally agree. And maybe 1,700 to 2,000 all-purpose yards doesn't seem all that unlikely. There are so many scenarios that this team could put Breece in, even in the passing game, where he's first or second in the progression, and they can utilize him. We saw what happened week 2 against Tennessee, and then Rodgers never really went back to that well. He never said, hey, Breece, you're my number one option on this play, unless it was the mesh concept where you have 2 crossers and the running back runs a wheel out of the backfield. And they ran that a couple times, but it was very unsuccessful to Breece Hall specifically. So if this offensive coaching staff, and we assume that they are going to do this, put Wilson and Hall in the best positions to win, I think 1,700 all-purpose yards for Breece would be very doable, and 2,000 is totally in the realm of possibility, considering he might be the second leading receiver on this team. I don't think it's going to be Reynolds. I don't think it's going to be Mason Taylor. I think it's going to be Breece Hall after Garrett Wilson as that number 2 wide receiver that everybody wants. So yeah, I would lean on Breece as much as I can, the whole backfield, but Breece definitely needs to command 70% of that. And I'm tired of this trade bullshit. If the Jets start bad, we'll find out in October. Right? We can't say here in June that Breece is a target to be traded. We literally just heard the coach and him say they're not going to trade him. Maybe if they're 1-7 at the trade deadline, you could consider it. But how are we already there? I don't know. I feel like this team's going to be competitive to the point where they want to hold on to their chips. Maybe not add a guy, maybe not get rid of guys like Breece Hall, but they're probably going to be in the middle of the pack come the trade deadline, and they're going to be 3-4, and they're going to be no, we want to see what we have. So I think Breece is here this year. You can franchise tag him. So I hope he's the bell cow for the next at least 2 or 3 seasons.
And I like the way that he has handled the challenge from the coaching staff of, hey, you got to earn the right to be the guy. I think Breece really did a good job, I think, adding some strength to his body as well. Here was Breece when he spoke last week being asked about the fact that for the first time since he's been a Jet, he's not automatically the 20 to 25 times per game bell cow running back.
The moment you got here or pretty close to it, you've always been like the guy in the backfield. Now Aaron Glenn is talking about using all three running backs. So how do you react to that? I mean, it might not need as many carries this year, or because other guys are getting chances. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm not obligated to anything. I'm around, new GM, new coaches, a lot of new faces. So for me, I got to go prove that I am the guy. That's every day. I feel like my skill set. I'm a 3-down back and second to none to a lot of backs in the league. So, we have a great running back room, a lot of healthy competition. But for my mentality is every day I'm going to prove that I am the best back on this roster, one of the best backs in the league. So, I have a quote on my phone that says, "If not me, then who?" I look at it every morning, and that's like my internal motivation because I'm very self-motivated. So, that's that.
Love that. Love that. Let's go, Breece. Go out there and have a big-time season. And guess what? If it's not the Jets paying him, someone will pay him, but it could very well be the Jets paying him because you already mentioned it. They have the franchise tag in their back pocket, worst case scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. And a couple things from that clip. One, Breece looks absolutely yoked, which I feel like is a theme of this team. Like you see all the second and third year guys taking that physical step and getting bigger. Will McDonald, Sauce Gardner, now Breece. I love that he said he's not obligated or entitled to anything. He's got to go out and earn every bit of it. That's just further motivation to me that, between him, Garrett, and Sauce, these guys are saying all the right things where Woody should just open the checkbook and pay these guys. Obviously, Breece is a different situation because of his position that he plays and the wear and tear, we'll call it, that the running back position gets. But I would love to see these guys on the team for the next half decade. Breece, ever since he's come to the team, he came to this team with braces in his mouth. He's been such a young cat, and he's done so well every single year. Obviously, last year was a down year, but there's nothing to me that says I'm down on Breece Hall or I want to get rid of Breece Hall in any capacity. No, I want to do the opposite. I want to keep him here 2 more seasons, franchise tag him twice if you really have to. Make it ugly, but make it, he's going to earn it. I feel like he's going to earn every little bit that he gets.
Never forget which person that covers the New York Jets asked Breece Hall after he was drafted his first ever question by someone who covers the Jets. That'd be me because I was in Vegas for that draft, and it was one of the few press conferences I was able to attend, and I got to ask Breece a question, so I beat all the beat to do it in person. So how about that?
Hey.
Shout out to Michael Duramo. He's the first to get the 5 spot of channel membership.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Michael, we're doubling it. You're in our Justin Fields jersey raffle at the end of the show for 10. Thank you very much for your support. Mark Pioli, Joseph Webb, Ed G 400, Ryan Paris, and Anthony G all receiving a channel membership there. Phantom Green and White, we got you down in the raffle for 1 as well. So we played you that Breece clip, right? Alan writes in, Breece sounds like he's 9 toes out the door. How could you hear that and think that, Alan? You are the worst.
Fuck you, Alan.
Amen, King Lowski. Alan, we'll see you in 5 minutes. I don't want to see your comments. You're annoying. Peg and Artie in the raffle for 5. Let's go.
It's the AsManiac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Thank you, Peg. Thank you, Artie. Can't wait to see you both in Tampa for the AsManiac meetup down there. If you hear your name called, thank Peg and Artie, James Fitzpatrick, Aaron Rodriguez, Rick Drummer, Mark Baylor, Robert McNair, all receiving channel memberships. So you brought up Sauce, Dylan. I pulled a clip from Sauce's presser last week. Look how just yoked he is.
Man, I just wanted to show my teammates, show the coaches how much I'm bought into this, man. I want to win. I want to change the organization. I want to be a part of changing the organization. We got a new regime, AG, his whole coaching staff that he brought in, Moogie, just great guys. And I feel like Mr. Johnson did a great job of getting those type of guys to be here, and I feel like they're doing a great job in changing the culture for sure.
Yoked.
I love the shout out to Woody. He's putting this all together and he's orchestrating this. Obviously, he made the hires, but You only said that because you just golfed with Brick a couple weeks ago, dude. We know. It's all good. But yeah, this is the
Hey,
type of
Woody,
stuff.
pay me my money, baby. The money phone. Hello.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, yes, people can say, devil's advocate, they're just saying these things because they want to get paid and then their true selves are going to show. But they've been doing this for the last 3 years, dude. Like there's never been like a change in their demeanor. Obviously, when they're losing, things suck and the tone of the press conference changes. But the second that they have a glimpse of optimism, anybody on this team, they're talking about how much they want to change this culture and be part of the change of this team. To actually have people that want to be part of a change, and everybody says, oh, to win in New York would be the best thing ever. And like they're just kind of seeking the legacy of it. With these guys, I feel like they genuinely want to be Jets for life, not because it's New York and they want to win in New York, but they're just down for the team. Like, I don't know, something about it just like, it just screams, these are the guys you make $100 million players.
By the way, Allen is not qualified to talk about toes. He's only qualified to talk about fingers.
Mike Dems said he had 9 fingers inside himself, so that was a good one from Mike Dems.
Shout out to Mike Dems. That is well played. PBM in the house. We are awaiting the results of PBM's MRI. I think it's at 7 p.m. tonight. For those who missed the first show, he hurt his meniscus, we believe. So, Mike, we're thinking about you. If you do call in, I do have a surprise for you. So keep that in mind when we open up the phone lines. Mike's in the raffle for 5. He writes in, can't get up to get my laptop. Put me in 2. That's what she said. Mike, you are in the raffle. Mike Dems writes in, day 5 of asking for a PBM intro. Mike Dems, all I'm going to say is, if PBM calls in today, I might be the tooth fairy and make your wish come true. That's all I'm going to say. All right. That's all I'm going to say. If you guys want a PBM intro. By the way, Charles Gorman is in the chat. Charles, you better update us immediately on the latest with the Burger King job because Dylan and I are dying to know. We'll break that down later on in the show. Peter Castro says, Dylan, you look very pale.
I don't have the light on. This is just natural light in here. I don't know. I'm a very white person. My body is tan from the 90-degree heat that I'm working in, but I try to cover my face as much as I can.
I got to be paler than you. I'm usually paler than most.
Yeah. I was gonna say because you definitely have that like more reddish to you. Mm-hmm. I get like a tan color because of like being German. I get a little bit kind of bronze, but not in the face. I try to protect my face. This is the money maker. Come on.
That's right. So they pay you the big bucks. Ladies and gentlemen, our next quote in this story that ESPN ran, where they spoke with, once again, scouts, GMs, executives, coaches, coordinators, etc. Here was the second part of the story where the Jets were mentioned. Mason Taylor. Quote, Jets selecting tight end Mason Taylor at number 42. He's fucking awesome. He was my number 2 tight end behind Chicago's Colston Loveland. He's athletic. He's young. And he's got upside in the passing game. That quote from a veteran NFL offensive coach. I apologize for my language. I'm just trying to do my job. Your thoughts on this? Do you know anyone besides maybe this veteran NFL offensive coach that actually had Mason Taylor ranked ahead of Tyler Warren? Because I'm assuming his rankings went Loveland, Taylor, and then Warren, but I could be wrong. Your thoughts?
I mean, I'm sure if you scour the NFL draft, Twitter verse, you could find somebody with this take. I don't know if I subscribe to it. I was a very big Tyler Warren, then Colston Loveland, then Mason Taylor as number 3. So I guess it's not out of the realm of possibility, but when you consider all the things like the upside, the athleticism, I mean, he broke records at LSU in an offense that didn't really, feature a tight end. Then they've always been known for, being wide receiver you. So, I mean, there's probably a world where this is truthful. Maybe it's just a little bit more hype than anything else. But, I mean, I'm cool with it. I think Mason Taylor is going to prove to be, he's going to hit the ground running his first year. Maybe he doesn't, have the 700, 800-yard season that we would think, but maybe 400 or 500 yards. And that'd be great production from the tight end room. I mean, Tyler Conklin was kind of that consistent, maybe 550, 600-yard guy for the last 2 or 3 seasons. But Mason Taylor to come in and get 400 or 500 yards and be like your number 3 or number 4 most productive receiver, I think that's well in his wheelhouse. And if you're already getting, hyped up by your coaches for your blocking and the pads aren't even on yet, I think there's a lot more to be, I guess, revealed about Mason Taylor and what his floor could be. Because if he's a very good blocker, his floor just elevates, exponentially, because now you can put him on the field on all 3 downs. It's not a matter of, well, in blocking situations, we want to use Rucker and Andrew Beck instead of Mason Taylor, and then you become more predictable. So if Mason Taylor can get his hands on guys and open up rush lanes, yeah, the sky's the limit. I think he's probably, fighting with Josh Reynolds as your number 3 most productive person in terms of catches and receiving yards. So, and I think he's going to be a red zone threat. That's the key too. Fields in Ohio State loved tight ends in the red zone. So I'm really high on Mason Taylor.
I guess my question is, like, what's realistic and what could he actually do to surprise? Like, I looked up Dustin Keller's numbers and I was right around like 500 receiving yards, couple touchdowns, have around 45 to 50 catches. And I think that'd be a pretty solid rookie season. The thing with Taylor, though, his quarterback is Justin Fields, who loves to throw to the tight end. So if Taylor could prove that he's up for it, he might have better than average rookie season. I just don't want to put him in a spot where, he's going to be Sam Laporta as a rookie. Like, everyone's making the Lions comps, and, like, I get it. Second round tight end, same thing with Laporta. That's an outlier, though. Like, anyone who thinks that he's going to be Sam Laporta, I think you're setting yourself up to be disappointed.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm kind of with you. I think the baseline would just be 4s across the board, 40-something catches, 400-something yards, 4 touchdowns. And I know that's kind of like basic, but I feel like that would be the baseline for him as a rookie, because we know that they don't always hit the ground running. Again, if you add in the blocking aspect of it that the coaches love, it just means more playing time, and more playing time just means more opportunity. So those play action passes where he leaks out into the flat or across the formation, that's going to be conducive for his success too. So I would say a baseline of just 4s across the board, and anything better than that, I mean, now we're just kind of playing with house money, and we know we have a true tight end of the future and not just a flash in the pan for a couple seasons. I think it was the Badlands guys. They said Ryan Griffin had the 3rd most productive Jets tight end season in the last 10 years. And I'm like, Ryan Griffin? Mason Taylor's got to be better than Ryan Griffin, but he had 600 something yards. So,
2019, right?
Yeah, 2019. Yeah.
I gave him a contract extension in the middle of that season.
Of all people to give a midseason contract extension to, Ryan Griffin would not have been on my bingo card. But yeah, so the tight end position has basically been abysmal for the Jets for as long as we can remember. So yeah, I have high hopes for Mason Taylor. I don't want to sound overly homer or overly optimistic about all these guys, but there is a world where they exceed expectations. And I mean, in this offense, we don't know what's going to happen. And I think tight ends and running backs are going to be the feature.
Matthew Smith says Mason Taylor is just as polished of a blocker as Tyler Warren. You watched them on tape, Dylan. Your thoughts on this take?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely okay with me. I wouldn't debate this. I think there's, and this is funny, this is something we used to talk about on Jet Nation. There's 2 types of blockers in college. There's the ones that put their hands on you and just kind of move around, and then there's ones that don't block at all. So Mason Taylor was one that put his hands on you and tried. So, I mean, Tyler Warren, I don't think he's a phenomenal blocker. He's just a brute. You know what I mean? So it makes sense when you look at him that he would be a great blocker. I just think he's more of a yak guy than anything, but they're good, both good blockers. But I would say, yeah, they're on the same level, and they're both better blockers than Colston Loveland, in my opinion. So they got what they wanted for their offense and how they see it fit.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Reminder, this week's top raffle prize features a signed Broadway Joe Namath football. Prize number 2, a signed Darrelle Revis football. Prize number 3, a signed Wayne Corbett jersey. Prize number 4, just added this yesterday, a signed Hall of Fame inscription Kevin Mawai jersey. So those are the top 4 prizes in the weekly raffle. We're doing a bunch of daily raffles all month long. Listener Appreciation Month, a.k.a. Listener Appreciation till training camp starts on July 22nd. We officially got that date. If you're a true Jet fan watching Jet content in June, I can't thank you enough. Thanks to everyone who tunes in each and every day. So another opportunity at the end of the show to win a prize, a Justin Fields jersey. If you win, you got to tell me what size you want it in and where I'm sending it to. But gift the membership to be eligible, and we'll pick a winner at the end of the show. Shout out to Man with a Rake for gifting a membership. Man with a Rake is in our raffle for one. Reminder, if you call into the show and have a call that is on point, something related to what we're talking about on the show, or something fun that happens while you're on the air, you get an automatic raffle ticket that applies for any daily raffle or for the weekly raffle. So a little incentive for people to call in during the slower times in the calendar here around the New York Jets. Speaking of which, so you heard me say 22nd for training camp. I also now have the dates for the joint practices that the Jets will have with the Giants. They're back-to-back days, as you would expect. That makes the most sense. August 12th, the Jets will have a joint practice at Florham Park. August 13th, Jets will have a joint practice at the Giants facility right next to MetLife in East Rutherford. So rookies report to training camp July 19th. Vets, as you heard me say, July 22nd. So a little bit closer each and every day to training camp. And despite my minimum expectations for the Jets this year, Dylan, I'm still ultimately always excited for the start of football season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you can't get yourself hyped up between June and August when there's no football going, I mean, I don't know what's there for you as a fan. But my question to you about the joint practice is, do you think that there's a reason why Rob Saleh wanted to joint practice with every single team on our preseason schedule, and now we are barely getting one with the crosstown rival Giants?
I don't know. Because if you remember when Glenn was in Detroit, they definitely did joint practices. So maybe it was a scheduling thing. I mean, they go to Green Bay, so that's like a tough thing to maybe logistically do a joint practice. Although they did do it with Green Bay Saleh's rookie year.
When Carl Lawson got hurt, yep.
Correct. And Aaron Rodgers was going up against his teammates 2 years later.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe Glenn, first year as a head coach, he feels like he'd rather have more one-on-one instruction with the team than do a bunch of joint practices.
Yeah, I think it's more of that whole move in silence narrative that's kind of been going around. I think he just wants to fly under the radar. Obviously, it's not a matter of showing the defense or the other team things because they run vanilla install on offense and defense in the preseason. But I thought maybe there was some kind of, connection we can make there, because it seemed like every single team in the preseason the last 2 years we were joint practicing with. And it's a good thing to a degree. It's good because that was the only time we ever had refs in August coaching or reffing our practices. But I do think there's like an angle of moving in silence with AG, and maybe it was forced on him to even do the Giants. We don't know. Maybe he didn't want to do any. And they're like, well, let's just do the Giants and you each get one hosting practice. So I'm cool with it, but I do think it's a bit of moving in silence.
Oscar writes in, I feel bad for asking this, but do you have any realistic expectations for Jeremy Rucker? Do not feel bad for asking that question, Oscar. That is a perfectly good question.
No, that's definitely a good question. He's going to make the team based on his chemistry with Fields. He's another person that, like, just in the clips of practice, he looks like he's gained some weight too. Obviously, maybe he's just like growing into himself or whatever. Maybe it's the hair that he was growing out that makes him look bigger. But there's just a theme of these guys bulking up this year. Again, we talked about Mason Taylor's expectations being in the 4s. If Jeremy Rucker gave us 200 receiving yards, that might be more than he's given us his entire career so far. So I would be cool with 200 yards. If he could find the end zone once or twice, that'd be, cool just for the sake of Justin Fields and the chemistry. I would just hope that the expectation is that he reverts back into the better blocker he was under, John Benton, than he was under Keith Carter. And obviously we know who Keith Carter is, and his offensive line play was abysmal, but that goes into the tight ends too. They're all, working together, blocking up front. It's not necessarily Ron Middleton's fault that Jeremy Rucker forgot how to block. I think that's more Keith Carter. So we'll see. This new tight ends coach turned into offensive line coach, Steve Hayden. We'll see. He comes from the tight end background, so maybe he has more, emphasis on these tight ends and working them in with blocking. So receiving, no, I don't have really any expectations, but blocking, I do. I certainly hope he is the first or second best blocking tight end on this team.
Rucker in his career, 264 receiving yards in 41 career games.
Oh my God.
Brutal.
That's abysmal. That's abysmal.
He has 0 touchdowns. He should have had a touchdown against the Titans in week 2 last year. He ran the wrong route.
Devin
Rodgers
Smith has more touchdowns than Jeremy Ruckert in his Jets career.
Man. Stephen Hill's got more Jets touchdowns.
I'm pretty sure they all have more touchdowns than Denzel Mims. Well, Ruckert's tied, but
if you're watching this show and you have never scored a touchdown for the Jets, you have the same amount of touchdowns that Jeremy Ruckert has had.
Insane, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, phone lines open. Reminder, when you call in, you get a raffle ticket. So we'll get to your calls coming up. Chicken Jenkins wants to know, Dylan, what did you think of Gary saying women shouldn't vote?
Look, I was killing him in the comments. I think you saw a couple of them. I really don't care. I wholeheartedly disagree. I feel like he was picking and choosing situations where non-traditional couples could even adopt and have the right to vote. Like, I don't know. Like, what about women that scientifically, anatomically are told by their doctors that it's not safe for them to have kids? Are they allowed to adopt and have kids? What if me and Jake wanted to get married and adopt a kid? Like that now it's not allowed, Gary?
No.
I don't know. Like
No.
we can't pick and choose the situations here, but when you live in Gary's brain, it's definitely a twisted place. So no, I wholeheartedly disagree with that.
It's Gary's world, baby. We're all just living in it. All right, phone lines open. Ladies and gentlemen, first up on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is a man that will be joining us down in Tampa, Florida.
I've got my eye on you. Checkmate me full screen. It's fireball whiskey time. David motherfucking T.
Hi, Jake and Dylan.
David,
how are you?
I'm good. Hey, Dylan. Hey, sometimes we wonder why we're put in situations, but I was taught a long time ago, good things happen to good people, and laughter is the best medicine.
I appreciate that, and I agree. Laughter definitely helps in these situations.
Yeah, well, you know, Jake and the Asmaniacs, we're the ones that can do it for you.
Yeah, really are. You're not kidding.
Yeah. Will you be attending the Tampa Bay game?
I absolutely will.
Oh my God, that's terrific. That's terrific. And so my Jets take Jake, and I did remember his name now. As far as Aaron Glenn's sternness coming from Robbie Zabel as a coach, and then you have, let us not forget about Coach Cho, who always puts his game face on.
That's right.
You know, unless you make him laugh. I mean that's their style. I mean, you know, they're coaches. They're serious. They're taking care of people, and that's my belief. And yeah, and really, the point is, they have to win ball games. You know.
David T, I would say among all your calls, this was a call with 100% salient points made.
I got my eye on you, G. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Dylan, are you excited for your first call from a nudist colony?
Oh, my boy Charleston. Yeah, let's go.
Jets Rube on the line. Hello, Mr. Rube.
Hey, how are you guys? Hey, babyface Dylan making a bold take here with Breece. I love it. I love it. I tell you what, with rushing that we're going to get from Fields, and I think the other two guys are going to get some pretty good rushing. I think that 9 wins is right around the corner. If Breece can do between 17 and 2,000, that would be spectacular.
Yeah. With the offensive line that we anticipate this being in front of Breece, yeah, if he's able to get 17 to 2,000 all-purpose yards, you would have to assume they are smashing that win expectation through the roof.
So, you know, a question for you guys is with Engstrand. I heard that he really had a playing for Detroit, you know, and they really did a lot of creative stuff, man. Is it too crazy to think that if we do end up with this thicker the kicker, that we're going to have some kind of tush push on 4th down or something for a first down, like a fake kind of thing? Would that be something you think that'd be too crazy or a possibility?
I'm excited. I think there's a real possibility.
Oh no! I mean, there's always the
What's up with Dylan?
possibility. There's always the possibility that graphic is just too much. But I would say no as far as the tush push, because you just went out and got a quarterback who can do those things, and he has the strength to be the tush push guy. But I mean, if you want to, get creative, I wouldn't put it past Ingstrand, considering where he came from in Detroit. They had a play where Jared Goff, they saw a play against the Packers where Jordan Love was booting out to his left and he tripped.
God. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Just,
that was no, it's okay.
You know what was coming. It was about to go all
Yeah.
full robot on us again.
Yeah, but there
Enjoy
was a
the
play
nudist
where,
colony. Have you ever been to a nude beach? I never have been.
No, Sandy Hook, I think part of that is a nude beach, but I would not go.
Really?
But there was a port, yeah, because it's all old people, man. Like, no young, self-respecting woman is gonna go to a Sandy Hook nude beach. You know what I mean?
I really wasn't really like you wouldn't go. It's like I didn't know Sandy Hook Beach apparently was part nude.
Part of it, I think
Yeah.
part of it is, yeah. But anyway, there was a play where Jordan Love was playing against the Lions, and he booted out to his left, and he tripped. And it turned out to be a better play for the offense. Like, the tight end leaked out, and he threw the pass, and it was perfect. The Detroit Lions put that in their playbook, and they had Jared Goff fake trip, and the tight end leaked out, and they threw a perfect touchdown for like 35 yards like the next week or the 2 weeks later. So if that is the type of thing we're getting from Tanner Engstrand, and he's going and looking at high school football and college football and seeing all what these guys can do and incorporate it in our own offense, the sky could be the limit. And like, the creative plays could just be, there could be just so many that we don't realize.
Man with a rake writes in, nudists are the ones you don't want to see nude. Interesting.
It makes sense.
Black Gypsy said, nude beaches are all old people. Ew. What do you have against old people, Black Gypsy? Some people might be into that. Yo Holmes writes in, lots of tush pushes happen at the nudist colony. It's probably also true. More calls here while the phone lines are just lit up right now. Apparently nudist colony talk really gets the people going. Well, I'll tell you what. I know where I'm going next. The debut of a brand new intro.
Purple about Mike, he loves the dark night. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple about Mike. Purple about Mike. It might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
That's hilarious. I love how he found the footage of the green pool. Wow, that was awesome.
Some are saying the Jet season was doomed the day you jumped into the green pool.
Yeah, I will not do that again this year. The pool is not green, and my wife is doing a good job maintaining the chlorine level and all that shit. So, no green pool. Maybe that's the key to the season. No green pool for the whole thing.
What's the key for you to actually be able to walk?
I can walk. I just have like a slight limp. I don't even know how to explain it. I can't I don't know. I walk like, something's wrong because something is wrong.
You have crutches?
No.
You got to like swing your leg like real wide when you're doing it?
I don't know if you can tell how I walk. Let's see.
I love it. We got him up off the couch.
Yeah. I'll just walk. My wife's saying no. I'll do it. Yeah. You can't tell.
Mrs. PBM is advising against such a thing.
Yeah. Can you see my legs?
Oh, we see it all right.
Oh, yeah. You're walking ginger, bud.
Purple knee bike, everyone. PKM.
Yeah,
No,
so
it's PNM, Jake. I caught you on the first show.
Yeah, it was so funny you said that.
Damn it.
Yeah. So the update is 7 o'clock. I have an MRI. I'm not sure if he's gonna tell me. He's not gonna be there because he doesn't work at 7. So I don't know if the doctor's gonna tell me like via text tomorrow or Friday or later today what he sees. But what happened was what I showed earlier, what I thought was protruding, that was just fluid. So when they drained it, they did 2 like full syringes and it was all blood. If it was like fatty or like white, clear, yellow, then I would have been like 100% okay. But since it's blood, something got messed up. So he did like tests where he's like moving the knee around after he drained it. And it's either my PCL, which is the inside of the knee, or underneath the kneecap, there's like cartilage and ligaments that hold the kneecap there. That could have broke, and that could be it. So I don't know yet. Won't know until I get the MRI what it is. But he thinks, based on how he was able to move it, that it's not a significant injury. That it's maybe a grade 1 or a grade 2 or something like that. So
Did they give you X-rays like you said they were gonna?
Yep.
Man.
But so it wasn't useless because he showed me the X-ray, and my kneecap was tilted sideways. Not sideways, but like a little bit
off center a
sideways.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So that showed that. So like that actually is like, oh, that's good to see, I guess, for him. You could also see tendons in an X-ray, which I didn't know. And he's like, your tendons are not snapped because I see them here intact. And then he showed me where the fluid buildup was. So wasn't completely useless, like I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But doctor's really good. He knows his stuff. I was actually very impressed. You could tell right away a doctor that's like full of shit.
100%.
And I was impressed. So, and he got me, an MRI later today, which some people wait a week or two or whatever. So
yeah, sometimes the wait is long. Yeah.
Well, Mike, feel better. All right, keep us posted.
Yeah, man.
At least you have a new intro, baby, and an outro.
About Mike, he loves the Dark Knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike. It might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Love it.
I didn't notice in the intro, one, it said green ass pool when he jumped in under his name. And then when he was working out in the basement, the comment said Gator is going to have fun with this. And he certainly did.
Peter Castro says most doctors are full of shit.
Amen, Peter. I had the first urgent care doctor I went to for my strep throat down here in Spartanburg. He tested me for mono and strep. I failed. I was negative for both somehow, even though I knew I had strep. And he was like, well, we're just going to treat you for strep anyway. And I'm like, okay, why couldn't you just like retest or do something of that? And then I had a terrible reaction to the augmentin antibiotic that he gave me. So
that's not fun.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. Jets Jesus is on the line. Jets Jesus, can you please look after one of our own Purple Belt Mike?
Yes, for sure. I missed how Purple Belt Mike actually injured himself, but yeah, those knee injuries are tough. So
he got into a fight with a bear this morning.
Damn. I mean, that's what happens. The pool's no longer green. It entices the wildlife. They want to come swim.
Yeah, exactly.
You end up wrestling with a bear. But of all of the AsManiacs, he's probably the one that was most prepared to wrestle a bear. So
True. You should have seen what the bear looked like.
Yeah. Both knees and elbows mangled. So, wait, sorry, guys, I'm at the gym. You guys were talking about before. I was wondering, with there only being the joint practice with the Giants, I'm wondering if we're going to see a more traditional approach to preseason games.
Great point.
Maybe that's really going to be their chance to get on the field.
Yeah, that's fair. You're definitely not going to see.
I think that could be interesting.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, you're definitely not going to see all the starters sitting all preseason. Like, we're going to see, like he said, kind of more traditional where the starters play a quarter, then they play a half. Maybe they don't get to the 3 quarters of the game necessarily because of the shortened preseason. But if they played 1 quarter of the first game, a half of the second game, and a half of the third game, that is 5 quarters more than they've played under Rob Saleh. So I hate to keep going back and comparing it to Rob Saleh, but until we see actual results, that's really all we can do. But I do agree. I think it's going to be more traditional of a preseason.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jets Jesus is spot on. Good call, Jets Jesus. Enjoy the workout. Your connection was a little choppy, but I got you down in the raffle for calling in for one. I do think we're going to see guys play a lot more in the preseason because we've already heard Glenn talk about how they're going to have a lot more live tackling periods this summer. This team was atrocious at tackling. Makes sense to try and tackle when the pads come on in the summer. I think that's probably why they're having less joint practices. I think they're going to do the 2 with the Giants. That's it. And then it makes, to me, total sense that they are going to play a lot more in the preseason to get ready for the year. Not, they're not going to play like it used to back in the day where the starters would play into the third quarter. But I do think we're going to see the starters be out there for way longer than what we've seen on a Robert Sowell. That's for sure.
Yeah, they want their guys to get hit. I mean, he even said it in the presser. He was like, it's a tackling sport. I think it was Zach Rosenblatt's question. So it's like, it's a tackling sport. You got to tackle, you got to block. And the more we practice that, the better we're going to be weeks 1 through 18. If you don't take hits or hit people all of August when you're supposed to be training to do those things, you're going to have the tackling results and the blocking results that we had last year, and it's not going to work out well. So I love the tough approach, so to speak, from Aaron Glenn, because not every team practices and tackles and does all those things that he's talking about. So although it's a little different from what we're used to, I think it's going to be a positive change.
I agree with you. Now, I want to warn the chat because the guy on the line right now is detested by many. Ladies and gentlemen, 6 Rings is up next. Hello, 6 Rings.
Hi. Can I have 5 minutes, even if I get sent to the hole? I just want to say some stuff.
5 minutes. 5
That's a
minutes
long time,
on the
bro.
Jet Show.
First of all, look what I
Patriot-
got.
Great. You have a signed Teddy Bruschi photo.
Yeah, but I just want to say I hope Mike's okay. First off, he's a nice guy. I hope he's okay.
Okay.
Because when he called me out, he taught me to learn about my franchise. Not just say Teddy Bruschi's my favorite player, but to learn into the stats.
Wait a second. It took Purple Belt Mike exposing you for being a bandwagoner for you to realize, hey, if I root for the Patriots, maybe I should know a little more about their history?
All I really cared about were Super Bowls, Tom Brady, and I knew but he taught me to learn.
He taught you to
about
what?
Other players.
What do you mean he taught? You couldn't name more than 5 players on the Patriots, and you claim that they're your favorite team.
But anyways.
What do you mean anyways? You're not a real Patriots fan. You're proving all our points.
Oh, fuck.
You're not even a casual Patriots fan. You're like you're a pretender. Like if they were casting like an extra in a movie, hey, we need a generic looking Patriots fan. Throw the Brady jersey on. It'd be you.
But he's gutless to call in and confront me and tell me why when I do nothing wrong.
I'll tell you what you did wrong. You continue to be a Patriots fan fraud. See ya later. 6 Rings.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the Sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Enjoy the hole. How's it
I
feel?
like it here.
No, you don't.
But he doesn't have the guts to call in. He just sends it.
He just sees that what we all see, what Michael's just super chatted, that you're a fraud.
If I'm a fraud, how come I buy my merch?
Cool. So I walk around New York City and look at the amount of Yankee hats you see. You're going to tell me those people all know what Aaron Judge is up to this year?
Maybe. But if I'm such a fraud and I don't know everything about my team, why would I watch the games? Why would I? You know what I mean? Why
You're
would
a
I
fraud.
take time out of my day?
Purple Belt Mike gave you like a basic like quiz on some now like Patriot history, and you didn't know any of it.
But I'm learning it now. You see, now I know some stuff. And I don't know everything. But
You should just drop the Patriot fandom and be a Jet fan. You have no connection to the Patriots. You call this show multiple times a week. You're in the chat. At this point,
Peter. STFU.
No. You're in the hole. You don't get to talk to Peter Castro, or otherwise this ends. You wanted your 5 minutes. We're doing it on my terms here. You do not. You have no connection to the New England Patriots. None. You're not from there. You just picked them after they conveniently won their first Super Bowl. Other than like Tom Brady and Gronk and Teddy Bruschi, you couldn't name more than like 7 players. I mean, you just be a Jet fan at this point. You watch a show about the Jets every day in June.
The show. I try to get interactive.
Right, but you're wearing Patriot gear on a Jet show, and then you get upset when the chat says, "Ooh, we don't like you." What do you think is going to happen around here?
But I don't say anything wrong. All I was saying is women have a right to vote, and that just sending me to the hole. For
Six
what?
rings. I'm Jewish. That's not what sent you to the hole. If I showed up in Iran right now with a yarmulke, that would not be smart.
Yeah, but I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just trying to interact. And
I think, honestly, it's very debatable what you're doing right now.
But I try to support the show, and they just attack me. Why?
Because you're obviously you have no knowledge of what we hate the Patriots. I hate the Patriots more than any team ever. Any team, all time.
I'm not trying to be a heel. I'm just trying to be interactive.
It doesn't matter. You're still calling into the biggest Jet show on YouTube wearing Patriots gear. What do you think this fan base is going to react?
Like, don't judge me for the person I am. Don't call me a dick, right?
Your first move was to call in, and you said, "You see that Brady jersey behind me? It's worth more than your franchise."
I didn't mean to come out so.
But you did. So now you can't just win us all back immediately.
But you should give me a chance, You shouldn't just be like, this guy's a bad person.
I could give you a chance, and this chat gave Beastbreaker a chance, but he had to take his lumps along the way and be sent to the hole. It happens.
Well, I said nothing wrong. I didn't come here insulting people. I didn't come in here saying anything controversial. I'm just trying to have a normal
The first call you made.
The first thing you ever said was controversial.
You insulted
shit all
the
over
Jets.
the team.
Yeah. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills talking to this guy.
I don't get how you don't see being a Patriots fan calling into a Jets show not being problematic. Like, how in your brain does that, like, you think it was just going to be okay? Like, we're not going to completely flame you and roast you, but like, you're going to have to take your lumps. Beastbreaker is a Jets fan, and it took him months to stop getting sent to the hole.
But they're sending me to the hole for no reason.
No.
There's plenty of reasons, like what you're wearing, what's behind you, what's on your wall to your left,
not bad,
what you just held up with Teddy Bruschi. Like, all those things are reasons to get sent to. No, all those things are reasons to get sent to the hole on this show. I understand you're still new and figuring it out, but this is what it is.
I didn't insult anyone. I didn't come out here. I don't have the.
It's not about insulting anyone specifically, but once you turn on the Asmaniacs, there's too many of us, and it's going to take a long time to get back in good graces. There's going to be some heathens in there that agree with you, but
Johnny say the Jets should get a pick. That's not an insult when I said a team should get the first overall pick.
That is.
It is.
How's that an insult?
Because you're saying the worst team in the league. Oh my God! You cannot be this dumb. I refuse to believe this.
No, like, I'm nice. I work. Like,
what if we said the Patriots were going to be the worst team and have the first overall pick? You would think that's good?
You work. What does that have to do with this?
They can have the first overall pick.
Oh,
buddy, I'm not a jack-off. Don't insult me.
Hold on. Knob Crab says, can someone tell this guy he's a jack-off? Hey, Six Rings, you're a jack-off.
So is him. I'm a nice guy. I don't say that. He should be sent to the hole.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now, Dylan. I'm going to bring in the enforcer because we tried to talk some sense into him, and it's not working. So stand by, people. I know what needs to be done.
You know who I am, you son of a bitch?
Don't talk to me like that. I don't know who you are.
Hey. I'm going to tell you like Peter Castro once told me. You sit down and you shut the fuck up, number one. You can take that goddamn jersey up and wipe your ass with it. This is Jets territory. Jets, motherfucker. You will listen.
I just like the
and
show.
You will listen
What's
now.
wrong with liking
Shut
the
up
show?
when I talk to you. Shut the fuck up when I talk to you. Do you understand me? You're not going to pull your bullshit with me on this goddamn channel. You're not going to push me around. You're not going to push the Asmaniacs around. And you know who I am? I'm the goddamn enforcer. So you better recognize me, boy. This is Jets territory. Jets, motherfucker. Recognize it, read it, and weep. And if you don't take that jersey off right now, I'm going to kick your ass right now.
Buddy, you understand the right to bear arms, buddy. We're getting that in Canada soon.
I don't give a crap about Canada right now. This is America, Jack. Take that jersey off and wipe your ass with it.
now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
This is America, Jack. Well done, Beast. Way to get his ass.
Oh, there it is. That's the first one that hurt my ribs. Him just holding the bat, just going in. That's the one that did it.
That was unreal. I just I want to make it clear. Six Rings, he's gifted memberships before. He seems like a nice guy. I just don't because he has no understanding of the history of his team. He doesn't understand why we Jet fans despise the Patriots. That's what he doesn't understand. He thinks it's all just, we're all just lovable NFL teams and, we all sing Kumbaya together. He has no understanding of why every Jet fan that is hearing the sound of my voice despises and will always despise the New England Patriots. Like, it's all coming back to the fact that he is a bandwagon fan that knows very little about his team. That's why he doesn't understand why Jet fans are giving him a hard time about calling into the largest Jet YouTube show wearing nothing but Patriot gear. Like, it's not that complicated.
100%. There's definitely a misconnection there going on, because any Jets fan that's like our age, mid 30s or younger, there is no way that they hate any team more than the Patriots. Now you get into the older heads like, Peter Castro, Neil, all those guys, the OGs, they would probably say the Dolphins are the most hated team in the division from the Jets perspective. But anybody that's 35 or under, all we've seen is Patriots dominance.
It's
and
changed
we're
now,
sick
too.
of it.
My dad used to hate the Dolphins the most, but now it's the Patriots.
That's what I'm saying. The Dolphins were the team. And now I feel like in the last 25, 30 years, because of the whole Brady Belichick, it's definitely transitioned to the Patriots. But I just don't understand. You call in with all this gear, you flaunt the Teddy Bruschi, whatever, and then you get confused when you get sent to the hole. Like, you've seen the show now for a couple weeks. You know how it happens. You don't need a reason to go to the hole. Somebody sends $50. Jake is a capplefish, and boom, you got bars in front of you.
That's right, baby. All my fake money here represents it.
That's real money. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Real money. It doesn't say on the back of it or on the front of it, motion picture purposes. Anyway, I do want to say this. Beast call there was so epic. I'm putting him in the raffle for 5. Hopefully everyone is okay with that, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah.
They are.
When Paul Heyman comes out, and that's what I call Beast when he starts getting angry. When Paul Heyman comes out of Beast and he's holding Uncle Louie, it's a little dangerous.
That was amazing.
Beast,
end of the show.
Patriots was not ready for that.
He was scared, man. The new bit we have where we can actually talk to people in the hole that Gator made the graphic, just incredible. Love it. By the way, congrats to Beast. He sent me this great email today. 21 years ago from today, I graduated from Curry Metro High School, but the graduation was held at the ULC Pavilion. It was a great success, and it will be a great memory to live on forever.
He emailed that to you?
Yes, at 2:01 p.m.
It's better than texting you that, I guess, but congrats, Beast.
Beast also made sure to let everyone know in the chat before the show started. Today on this day, I graduated from Curry Metro High School class of 2004. 21 years ago, history changed forever. I was 20 when I graduated, but it was a moment in history.
Wait. 20? It's a little long to be in high school, Beast, but hey, you got out, right? You got out. You're a free man now.
Ladies and gentlemen, more of your super chats. Mike Perez says, enough is enough. Send this man a Fields jersey. We might have to send Beast a Justin Fields jersey. I don't see Six Rings. What I would recommend to him, because he's such a fraudulent Pats fan to begin with. If you're going to watch the show every day, just be a Jet fan. You actually would have a connection now. You say, hey, I found the show. This community is awesome. You know what? I really have no connection to the Patriots other than I rooted for them because I won a lot when I was a kid. Like, just be a Jet fan. The Patriots suck right now anyway, so it's not like you're missing out on anything.
They have a higher chance of getting the first pick than we do, I think. Maybe not on the sports books, but like what and that whole offensive thing about the AFC, the Jets having the worst situation. not even the worst situation in their division. New England has that.
I agree. Let's see. Cheeseman says, I'm sorry I ever badmouthed you, Beast. Dude, the best thing to happen to Beastbreaker is 6 rings. The Q score has never been higher for the man. Love it.
Yeah, he's making me a fan for sure. I've been very on the fence about Beast, especially throughout the whole we won't talk about it saga. I don't want to mention his name and trigger anybody, but yeah, I mean, Beast is definitely doing his part as a Jets fan when we need him to.
Peg and Artie, 6 rings, just go away in the raffle for 2. The great Rick Kent. I'm an old head, as Dylan put it, and there's no team in organized sports I hate more than the New England Patriots. See, because the Pats and everything that went down, they became the team. That's like, see, 6 rings. If you understood the history of your own football team you claim to root for, you would look up where Bill Belichick was before he became the Patriots head coach, and let's start there. Or how Tom Brady became the starting quarterback of the Patriots in the first place. Then maybe we go there. And then all the the laundry list, I should say, of things that have happened in that rivalry over the years. Big fella says, I'm 53 and the Patriots are my most hated. Backshots Brady can eat corn the long way. F Boston.
Dude, my brother says that all the time. He's like, do you eat corn the long way? And like people are like, yeah, like this, right? He's like, nope. Turn it around. I'm so glad you said that, big fella.
Janice Jet in the raffle for 5. Janice, always good when you're watching the show live. Appreciate you. Can't wait to see you and everyone in Tampa. Boom. If you got a membership from Janice, make sure you thank her. I want to get into more of your calls here. Dylan, we're over an hour, so if you got to go at any point, you just let me know. But I know.
Let's do 1 or 2 more calls. I got it. And then I got to start making some dinner.
Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline right now is one of our favorites. He's one of the all-time greats. He was the #1 seed in Asmaniac Madness. Does he have a job at Burger King? We all find out together right now.
Hey, child! You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. Hey, child! I'm not saying that Glowski takes steroids. I need some of it. Hey, child! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, child!
No, I do not have a job at Burger King at the moment. Nick Shine's going to get in touch with them tomorrow. I should probably hear from them either tomorrow or Friday.
What happened? Why is Nick Shine following up? Why aren't you following
Well,
up?
I followed up with her on Tuesday, but shit, I got to wait for either an email or a phone call, so I'm waiting. And Nick Shine just asked me, have you heard from them early this morning? I said, no. He said, I tried to get in contact with them today. Rena, the woman who we spoke with on Saturday, wasn't there, so he'll try again tomorrow.
What percentage of your paychecks, when you get them, have to go to Nick Shine?
I would say about 50%. Why?
I was gonna say, was that worked into the deal with him because he's helping you
He
out
didn't
quite
say
a bit.
anything
That's
about
awesome.
that. No, he didn't say anything about that. No, to be honest with you.
Now, Charles, how the heck did you, after we made you a brand new resume, how did you still send in the wrong resume? How does that happen?
I have no idea.
Can you get your head out of your ass and take this seriously?
I am taking this seriously. I tried to edit it, but the computer wouldn't let me.
What do you mean your computer wouldn't let you? You're trying to have a job, trying to get a job. We went out of our way to make a brand new resume for you, and you still find a way to screw it up.
I wasn't trying to screw it up.
Can you talk us through how the wrong one was sent, though? If the new one was made, why wasn't the old one deleted?
Originally, the original draft it had my old number and my old email address, and I tried to edit them, but for some reason, it wouldn't let me. Like, I'm dead serious. It wouldn't
So you
let
just
me.
sent it anyway? Why not just take a step back and ask for help before you just send it?
That is very true.
I mean, how?
Are you able to send? Are you able to send the updated resume properly?
I already sent the updated resume onto the Burger King website. I did.
Right. After Nick realized what the issue was, why they never called you, because they were trying to call your old number or email you at the email that wasn't the right email.
I know I'm an idiot. Look, I do want to get a job. I do want to work.
Well, you can understand why there's people out there questioning your desire to work when you had a job that was basically set up on a silver platter for you. The crown was about to be put on your head, literally, at Burger King, and you sent in an old resume.
I might have grabbed the wrong one.
But
My
then
apologies.
but you just acknowledged you knew it was the wrong one and still sent it in anyway. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I reapplied for the job online, and I gave them the updated resume Nick Shine gave me.
Yeah, and that resume is the resume that I made.
I know
that we
that.
did on the air. So, and it clearly looks different than your old one. So, like, how did you not notice? That's what I'm saying. It's not like they were the same format. We completely redid your resume and made it look professional.
I know, and I appreciate that. Seriously.
What about
Charles,
the warehouse job? Did you send the right resume to the warehouse job?
We canceled it because it was a bit of a distance from me.
Okay.
I prefer to work locally. I explained, by the way, Miss Mosk is not my real job coach. She's my CPE evaluator.
Well, good, because she's a terrible job coach.
But that makes sense about the warehouse. You need.
She's the Rich Kotite of job coaches.
What about Adam Gase? He's pretty bad. He's pretty bad too.
As bad as Gase was, at least Gase was good on the opening drive.
I was going to say Gase would have got you in the door with the right resume on the first drive, and then from there you were screwed. But you at least would have had that first step right.
Yeah, Gase would have got you an interview. All right, Mosk is Kotite level bad.
She's not. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about women's right to vote. Of course, women have a right to vote. Why would why would Gary believe that women don't deserve to vote? That's kind of sexist.
Kinda.
It's being nice. Like, it's sexist as hell.
There's no need to be nice about this situation, Charles.
No, say what you really want to say, Gary.
Say
you're out of your
chest
mind.
that is newly shaved. Say
My mother has been voting since she turned 18. My grandmother has been voting.
Well, guess
what?
My
mother is a registered voter. My grandmother's a registered voter. My aunts are registered voters.
Well, in Gary's world, they would have no right to do so.
Well, that's stupid. That's asinine.
What's more asinine, Gary's takes or you
you're
screwing
a
up the
true
Burger
fan of
King
the
application?
Patriots-
Answer the question.
Yes, Jake?
What's more asinine, Gary's takes or you screwing up the Burger King application where all you had to do was send the new resume that we sent to you?
I'd say they're both pretty asinine.
I agree. That's actually a good answer. Continue.
It's a great answer.
But also for 6 rings, look, you seem like a nice guy, but I think to me, when I first started my Jet fandom, I had to learn a lot about the team. I did my research on the team, and my father passed on his knowledge on to me, too. Also helps when you have a family member that's a fan of that same team, too, for a long time.
I agree. So what's your advice to 6 rings? Learn the history of the Patriots, or how about drop?
Learn the history. Even before the Bill Belichick years, like they had some good years under Parcells. They made their first Super Bowl appearance in '85. Granted, they got molested by the Bears.
What?
Whoa!
What did you just say?
I said molested by the Bears. Excuse me.
Is this the same bear that PKM encountered?
Oh God, that's enough Charles for today. Good God, man.
He said it twice.
And just like, dude. I don't think people realize the resume was done. It was it looked wildly different than anything he had sent previously, which was like a 3 or 4 year old resume. For him to not send the right one, and then to acknowledge when I said, "How did you not notice the difference when they clearly look different?" And he said, "Yeah, I didn't think of it," because he's like, "Oh, I didn't know how to change it." Like, what? I believed Charles wanted a job and he just screwed up, but now I kind of agree with a lot of people out there who say it's self-sabotage on purpose because he doesn't actually want to work. He wants the illusion that he's trying to work. So I don't know, man. I mean, the Charles controversy now is real.
AJF said it yesterday. Since he made that $100 shaving his chest, does Gorman actually need a job, or is he just going to wait a couple weeks and shave it again for another 100 and just kind of push the cart along and not actually get a job? So I was hoping for him, man. I really thought between the warehouse, I knew if it was out of his limits, it's a little hard when you don't drive. I mean, you're not going to take an Uber to and from work and spend 30% of your paycheck just getting to work, but between that or Burger King, I really had high hopes for Charles, man. We saw Chiefs fan get a job. I was really hoping Charles would. And I'm hoping Bobby does too. I know he doesn't call in anymore, but like these 1 seeds need jobs, man.
You know, it's interesting what you just said there, right? He doesn't call in anymore. Well, what if I were to tell you, Dylan, that Bobby Midnight's on the line?
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Hello, Dylan. How you doing? Nice to see
Bobby,
you.
how are you?
Bobby.
I see my lady July 3rd, Charles has his lady, Mrs. Mawakritz, whatever. She's helping me
Coach
get
Mosk?
it up too.
Don't hire Coach Mosk, all right?
No, she's a nice lady. I got a good one. She's
definitely not a nice lady.
No, the one I have is good. Can I shout a couple people out in the chat?
Well, hold on a second. Before you shout anyone out, this job coach of yours, it doesn't sound like she's doing a very good job either. You've been unemployed for a long time.
Yeah, I know. We just started with her.
Just started?
Yeah.
You've been looking for a job for a couple weeks now.
A couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't just start. A couple months is a long time.
Yeah, I know, but let me show you. I got paper on it.
What are they? They go to the bullpen? They bring in a new job coach?
No. It's just to explain what it is.
My brother nailed it. You got Adam Gase and Chuck got Kotite. I mean, honestly, you can't even get an interview. So I don't even know if you got Gase. You got Olberg. That's what you got.
Right, probably Olberg. Yeah, probably Olberg.
Is there any progress towards getting a job? No.
Yeah,
no
it is.
callbacks?
Yeah. I want to shout out a couple people in the chat. Peter Castro, hi, my friend, and I hope PBM gets much better. I hope he feels better soon. Okay, so you had to see Beastbreaker against 6 Rings yesterday on my channel. Beastbreaker gave it to him yesterday too.
I think he gave it to him here.
Yeah, he gave it to him more on my show. You go back last night. He gave it. I was dying laughing.
Shameless plug from Bobby Midnight.
Yep. That was actually not a bad plug, though. I actually respect the hustle there.
Makes me want to go check it out.
I had to get rid of him. 6 Rings. I couldn't stand him. He's not coming on my channel anymore. I'm done with 6 Rings.
I'm not going to ban him from my channel. I'm just going to
I
let him know.
Nobody likes him when he comes in. He talks about you constantly the Patriots.
Well, your show is you just throw everyone on the screen at the same time. So why don't you?
Yeah, but I don't want him on my show anymore. I don't like the guy.
How about instead of focusing on your show, we focus on you getting a job?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm getting a job.
What do you mean? Yeah, I know. You don't know. I've been hearing about this job thing for a year already.
No, not a year.
What do you mean? When was the last time you had work? It was the Holiday Inn job, right?
Yeah, that was. When did I get? Oh, when was that?
How did that job end?
Oh, because I fell down in the bathroom peeing backwards, and I hurt my back.
You got hurt at work.
Wait, you fell down
working
in my house.
Oh, you fell in your house. It wasn't a work injury. Okay.
I fell backwards for some reason. It was early in the morning, and I fell backwards on my back.
Because you don't take care of yourself. That's why you got to continue to eat better.
Did you continue
to
go backwards?
Yeah, I'm doing good now. I got to shave. Look at this beard.
When was the last time you shaved?
2 days ago.
Also, to be clear, you fell backwards. You didn't pee backwards, right?
No, I peed in the toilet and I fell backwards. I tripped over something like that. So it was.
Is it true?
Yes, it's true.
No.
He didn't ask it yet.
I didn't ask the question yet. I'm going through my sources here. Yeah. I heard from a close source that you now sit down when you pee. Is that true?
No, I don't sit down.
Since the accident, you have not Tom Brady'd, as we call it around here, when you sit when you pee.
No, I stand up when I pee. You could show it when I went to New York.
Also, John with a great question. Do you continue peeing after you fell backwards? Like, how did the pee end there? Did it just stop midstream?
I think I was done peeing. Yes. Thank you, John B, for getting into my personal life. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Wait a second. You can't be mad at John B. You're the one who shared the story that you fell when you were peeing.
Yeah, well, that's how it happened.
So he asked a question following up on the incident. You can't then give him attitude for asking the question.
Okay, that's the truth. I stopped peeing and fell backwards. It was 3 o'clock in the morning.
And have you had any incidents since?
No, not
Okay.
falling. No.
So that was a while ago.
No.
So that's why we
how
have to
I
now
lost
get
my
you a job.
Well, my manager wanted me to get my back better, and he said, when you get your back better, we'll rehire you. They never did. So.
That was 3 years ago.
Not 3 years ago. I don't even know you for 3 years ago. Crazy.
When was the last day you worked at Holiday Inn? What year?
Last year.
Last year,
2023 or 2024?
Oh, I think it was August last year.
August of no way. There's no way it was August of last year.
Yes, it was. I worked
2023 or 2024?
2024. It was last year.
I don't believe this.
Okay, well, ask my brother.
But the problem with asking your brother is, one, he might be drunk, or two, we might not be able to hear him or see him.
Well, he called in today, didn't he?
He did, but did you see how that one went?
Yeah, his camera didn't work that time. I'll go.
Rick Kent says 2023.
Yeah.
2024. It was last year.
When? January 1, 2024?
No, I said August last year.
August of last year, you were not working at the Holiday Inn.
Yes, I was.
You were not. You were calling the show every day. And I remember last summer, we were asking you about a job.
Okay, it was before then. It was before August.
So if we're going to be fair around here, because we want our one seeds to work and to quote Dave Briga, be able to contribute to
I'm
society.
definitely going to get a job.
We got to get you back and working. Let's go.
Yeah, I am.
How many applications have you sent in the last 7 days?
2.
Okay.
I always use Indeed. I use Indeed.
Have you thought about any in-person approach to the job pursuit? Show up
or following up on any of these.
Yeah, I can do that.
Calling and following up also helps.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, definitely calling in.
It shows that you're committed to the job and that you actually want
you got to be calling in, not having somebody else call in.
Do you have a resume that also needs to be updated?
No, I got my resume.
Is it actually updated?
Yes.
Does it have your actual information on it?
Yep.
Updated
Correct.
information? It's not from 2021?
No.
Okay, well, you're already ahead of where Charles Gorman was. He also super chatted. Jake, please put me back on. I have a Jets take. I'll tell you what, Charles, I'll put you back on, but if you think we're doing a Jets take after what I've learned about your job process here, you're out of your mind.
He also super.
Hey, turn the volume down.
Yeah, turn the volume down, Jake.
Hey, Bobby, how are you?
Who gets a job first, Charles or Bobby?
Probably Charles. He's a couple
That's
of
not a good thing to admit, Bobby. Come on.
Well, he's a couple of days away. He's getting Burger King.
Let's turn
Why
2
can't you do the
applications
same
a
thing,
week.
Bob?
I could do this thing.
Yeah, put in one application a day, and you'll get a job within 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, that sounds good. There's a good
If you don't have a job before the Jets return to training camp, something is going wrong.
Right, definitely. I agree with that. Good call, Dylan. Good call.
Bobby, I will raise money if you get a job. And I don't know the amount yet, but I will, just like I raised in 5 minutes $100 for Charles Gorman to shave his chest last week. I guarantee you I could raise a significant amount of money from this community for you to get a job. But you only get the money when you get a job.
No, I don't want to do that. You don't have to do that.
We need you to work.
I'm going to get a job. I don't need you to raise money for that. I want to get it on my own. I don't need raising the money to do it.
Nate says that his unborn grandchild is getting a job first.
Nate, dog. Oh, boy.
Nate, you're crazy. I love you, Nate.
And also, as Boomtown said it, consider the cash payment to you, Bob, if you get a job, a signing bonus.
A signing bonus. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
First one to get a job gets like $100 or something, right?
I tell you, we're busy. You can't come on any shows. email me. You DM me. Oh, no more time for your show. I thought you were gone.
Whose show?
No, I give you, I give you your personal invite to my show, and I give it to him, and then yesterday he says, "Oh, I don't have time to be on your show." Okay, so
wait, Charles said that to you?
No, Boomtown.
Oh, okay. So
and I'm glad that the Canadians didn't win any Stanley Cup last night. So good.
Wait, so you're going after Boomtown now? Okay, so I understand. So you sent Boomtown the link to join your show, and he wrote back that he doesn't have time to join your show.
Any show, he said.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he's
good.
very busy.
Okay.
He's the resident.
Well, I don't
Asmaniac
want to
historian.
listen. I don't want to listen to him anymore. Boomtown.
Wow, you're really going after Boomtown.
Yeah, I am. Good.
What did he do to you? He just said he was too busy to join your show. That's not a crime.
Well, he has time for your show and Nick Shine's show.
Okay, and what's wrong with that?
Oh, he can't come to my show?
Your show is 8 hours a day.
It is not
What
8
is he?
hours
The man
a
has
day.
a life. He has a family. What did you just want him to sit
All
on
right,
Zoom all day
I'm
with
done
you?
with- Okay, Jake, thank you very much for having me on. Everybody have a good night.
Be less concerned about Boomtown, whether or not he's watching your show, and more concerned about things that matter, like one, getting your eye
I'm getting
fixed.
in the
'cause
job.
good
I'm
Lord.
working on getting in the job. Okay, bye now.
Oh yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Later,
Bye.
Bobby.
He's gone. Wow.
Incredible
Charles, what do you make of Bobby's beef with Boomtown?
It is what it is. I'm staying out of it. I mean, Boomtown's been a good friend of mine. He's been one of my best supporters since day one. Gave me some worthy historical information. I'm still waiting for him to call into one of my shows. I mean, he attends, but he doesn't call in whenever I open the phone lines. But he will eventually.
I don't think he ever will.
We'll see.
Until you get
You
a
never
job.
know. I do want a job, everybody. I do.
Boomtown promised me. He goes, I'll call into Charles' show the second he gets a job.
I do want a job. I mean, I did visit Burger King on, was it Monday or Tuesday? Shit. I think it was Monday. I visited them on Monday. I asked Arena, she says, I thought they were going to call me or email me that day, but she told me, no, you have to wait for them to email you or call you. I'm like, okay, thank you very much. I had lunch there, and then I went out, and then I went back to my apartment. You know, I'm not going to go in there every single day waiting, asking her the status of my application. I don't want to harass her. I don't want to harass the company. So
Every 2 days is fine, though. If you wait a
Oh, I
day
know
and
that.
call the next day, yeah, not every single day, but you got to show some type of,
I got to
what's the
show
word
some
I'm
type of
looking
hustle.
for? I can't think of the word, but you got to show like you're motivated.
That I care, that I'm motivated. Yes, I understand
Yeah.
that completely, 100%. That's 100% factual.
Also, Charles, what was your Jets take before we say farewell to you?
Well, I was going to say that from what I heard about Mason Taylor, he looks like probably our best tight end since Dustin Keller.
That was
Dustin
the take?
Keller-
That was the take that you desperately needed to call back in with.
Well, and I also think that the defense is going to be very good.
Thank you. Okay.
This defense, I think, is going to be very, very good. And I think Breece Hall is going to have a big year.
And you ripped
Yes.
ass on the show in the same call. You're unbelievable.
That's not me. That was you.
That was not me.
I think Breece Hall's going to have a big year. I don't know. I disagree with my boy Allen that he has 9 toes out the door. I disagree about that.
Alan's got
Hopefully-
9 fingers up as you know what, Charles.
Alan's your boy?
Yeah, I don't know. The second you started praising Alan, I'll see you later. That's not happening. Dylan, I said we were going to do one more call. I should have known if I went to Gorman, it would never end. But thank you for your time, and great to get you back on. Glad you're feeling a lot better, and we're all obviously glad that you're a part of our show every week.
I appreciate it. Asmaniacs, thank you guys all again. You guys are A1 community. Even Alan when he gives me shit. So I do appreciate everybody. And Jake, I'll catch you next week.
Dylan's channel link, I just put it in the live chat. Give him a sub there. He's posting content all the time about the Jets, so check it out. He'll be in the chat mixing it up with us as well. Dylan, talk to you soon, man. Appreciate you.
Yep, take care, man.
Dylan Tereman with us. Jet Nation Live now, his own YouTube channel. Tremendous. MC says, Jake, Bobby doesn't like you anymore. I know. What do I care? He doesn't call the show anymore. That was his third call in the month of June. I'm doing Boomtown's job for him now because how little Bobby calls. He called 7 times in May. I think that was 3 times in June. All right, he doesn't like me anymore. What am I going to do? Oh, Bobby Midnight doesn't like me. Oh. I'm trying to help him. What do you want from me? Guy calls in with an eye so pink, only one man we know farted into it. What am I supposed to say? I mean, I'm rooting for Bobby, but there's nothing I could do. Can't force him to call into the show. He doesn't need me anymore. Oh, look at me. I mean, Bobby went live at the same time as the Little Joey birthday spectacular. I mean, come on, that's terrible. Can't do that. That's wrong. Thunderlips is up next, and I love Bobby, but like I thought that was wrong. Thunderlips is up next. Hello, Thunderlips.
Hey, what's going on, Jake? A lot to unpack over there. I was on hold for a while. I had to stop for dinner. Had a lot of takes, but I'm gonna lead off with you guys are talking about nudist colonies, right?
Oh yes, that I forgot that. This show's been so wild. I forgot that was a topic.
Well, I remember like in the 90s when I used to like hang out with my dad on Sundays. Robert Moses, right? Like you're from Long Island, so Robert Moses. If you go all the way to the left, it's a nudist beach. I guess it was in the 90s. I mean, it was in the 90s, but it's not the nudist beach you would think of.
Wait, nude?
Yes.
Nude?
Oh my God, dude, come on. All right. Yes, you're nude. He's not nude. I promise.
That could have been the end of this channel.
I know. Stop.
You lied.
All right. Well, anyway, so we walked all the way to the left. I must have been like 11 or 12 years old. And this old dude comes up to my dad, right? And his name is Hal. And he's like, hey, Hal, how you doing? It's like a fucking clown wig with a grandfather clock just fucking dangling between his legs. I got like, every time someone says nudist colony, I get like PTSD.
Oh, God.
Because it's, dude, Robert Moses was just all old people. It was horrifying. But not only that, my dad would always make liverwurst sandwiches when we would go to the beach. So, whatever, man. But anyway, I do have some advice for Charles. Once he gets the Burger King job, my house is crazy, sorry. Once he gets a Burger King job, the next time he goes on a flight, just get one of those hats, sit on the flight, wear the Burger King hat, and I'm sure he's going to get a ton of attention. It'll be fine.
He's a king.
He is a king. That's right. And, I was listening when Six Cock Rings called before, and, if he wants people to like him, he came in way too hot. He shit on our fan base, was showing his pathetic football with all the autographs on it, pointing to his jersey. You know what I mean? It's like you only get one first impression in life. You know what I mean? You can't take it back. So that's
right. He thinks that because he apologized the next time he called in, that all is forgotten. It's like it doesn't
matter. But not only that, but after he came in hot and tried to shit on everybody, after he won that prize, like the next 2 or 3 calls, the main point of his calls was asking basically where his prize was, and you were kind of like saying about all the back and forth emails and shit like that. But he was basically like, "Where's my prize? When's it coming?" You could ship it to Okinawa or Canada, where the fuck he's from. You know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't matter. I don't know, man. It's just it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. You know what I mean? 6'7".
Shut up.
All right. I don't know what that means, but my kids say it all the time. So you know what? I'm gonna end it with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thunderlips.
6'7". Later, bro.
And the Thunderlips family. I just received email communication from Mr. Beastbreaker himself. Today was a statement, and I laid the hammer down. This Jets country, Patriots 12, had to learn the hard way. And I'm too powerful, beyond powerful. Allen is next. Global Enforcer Beast. Ladies and gentlemen, Global Enforcer Beast. Well said, Beast. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline, I don't know if we're going to count this as his 5th call in the month of June, but he's called back in.
Jake, I never said I hated you. That never came out of my mouth.
Oh, someone wrote it in the chat. I don't know.
Well, I don't hate you. I came on. I told you I've been going outside lately, walking outside.
I know, and I think that's good.
I rather during the winter it's fine because it's freezing ass cold out there in Vermont. Yeah,
I'm a Bobby Midnight fan. I've always made that clear.
I'm always a fan of yours too. We get into our, 3 months I had my period.
Boomtown writes in, "Do you hate me, Bobby?"
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Wow.
So it's nice to see you. You're a good guy. You're
Thanks,
always
Bob.
good to me all the time. Nick Shine, Nate, everybody cares about me.
When are you going to your brother's place to get his setup fixed?
I think we could go tomorrow. I'll have him pick me up and then I'll fix it for him. And then he'll call in from there.
Chris B writes in, "Bobby, do you love me?"
Yeah, Chris B. You always, I try to have you on, but you always can. Cameron does it.
Chris B is the most positive person that tunes into any
Yes,
show ever.
he's very positive. More positive. I'm never positive that much. More positive as he is. Jake, do you know that guy? He's a Yankee fan. He's Mr. Positivity. What was his name?
A
You
Yankee
remember?
fan that's Mr. Positivity?
Yeah, he did a morning show every morning. He used to be Mr. Positive. You had him on your show, I think. He's kind of bald and Pluto. Is it?
Who?
Oh, I can't remember. I missed the guy. He was a Yankee fan. I think he's a Jet fan too.
Porto?
Yeah. Porto, yeah, right?
Oh,
Porto.
Cheslow? Chelsea?
Yeah. He's from down in I think he lives in Virginia now. He's from New York or Virginia.
I see.
Yeah, I miss him. I haven't seen him lately.
You should write him a love letter.
Hey, who's on tomorrow? Andrew Fialco tomorrow?
No, you see, you don't even watch my show anymore. You didn't know that Fialco retired.
He retired. Why?
Yeah, we had a send-off show for him. He got a coaching job. He's coaching high school football at a powerhouse program in New Jersey now.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, you didn't even know that because you were in your hissy fit all last month and you didn't watch the show.
Yeah. No, I was outside walking.
Oh, that's right. You were walking so much that the guy who's live for 4+ hours a day most days, you couldn't find any time to call in. I'm not buying it.
No, I'm sorry. I'm outside. All right, so I'll call in more late.
No, the only person who's outside is Kyle Clifton on like 30% of his calls. All right, and the other 70%.
Well,
he's inside.
okay. What about if I call in like I was in the hospital?
Why don't you call from one of these walks I keep hearing about? You have an iPhone, right?
Yeah, I called in from the hospital.
You call from the hospital. How come you call him from one of these walks?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, tomorrow when
All
I
right.
walk outside.
All right, tomorrow you call. Matt O'Leary's on. You used to want his butt on a stick. He's on the first show.
No, we're friends now. We're
right.
over that.
Matt O'Leary told me that he actually wants your ass on a stick if you don't call in from your walk tomorrow. He just texted me. He's watching the show.
All right,
now.
what time is it? 10:30 tomorrow?
Yeah, call him around 10:30. That's fine.
All right, that's good. I'll be
All
there
right.
for you.
All right, I look forward
Jake,
to
I
it.
love you. You know I love you.
I love you too, Bob. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right.
Okay, bye now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Midnight. And I was going to play this, but I couldn't find it fast enough, but I'll play it anyway.
Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers. Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers, taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Bobby and Charles are damn sexy. Damn sexy. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party. Let's Bobby and Charles are hot and sweaty. Hot and sweaty. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party.
For those just tuning in late, the first hour was mostly Jets talk, I promise. Also, speaking of the Jets, I'm giving away a Justin Fields jersey to someone at the end of the show. If you call into the show, you get a raffle ticket. Bobby, I'm putting you down for 2 because we technically did take 2 of your calls. I feel like we made some progress there with you. And also, if you get for the Fields jersey, reminder, that means you're in the weekly raffle as well. Kevin Mawai signed jersey, Wayne Corbett signed jersey, Darrell Rivas signed football, Joe Namath signed football. The Namath stuff is the best. Anytime we do that, people always are super into it. So I'll try to mix in as much Joe Namath stuff as we can. So gift away to be entered in the raffle. Minimum super chat to get 2 tickets is $10. Big fella, you were next, but I saw you just dropped off. So if you call back, I will get you on immediately. Open phone lines, last chance to get in. We've covered really a tremendous amount of ground. We've had someone sent to the hole. Just amazing. Also, this super chat from Big Fella I meant to get to earlier. Jets Jesus went to Scott's stylist today. He definitely did. I miss Scott. Scott, if you're out there, hopefully you're doing well and you can call in. Chicken Jenkins says someone should get Gorman on a nude beach. He'd be looking at boobs all day. Dude, he'd be arrested so quickly. You imagine that? That horn dog on a beach? A nudist beach? Man. Oscar writes in, Jake, I'm still trying to figure out what broke the camel's back between the friendship of Bobby Midnight and One Punch Dave Briga. I find myself perplexed. I think they just had a falling out over lack of employment for Bob. And I also think Briga can't stand Gary so much. And Bobby allowing Gary to run his anti-woman agenda takes on Bobby's show, I think that bothers Dave too. That's my theory on it. Ladies and gentlemen, we asked for the big fella, and guess what? We shall receive the big fella.
Well, he's home sitting in a chair, 'cause his back hurts. On the road, he's sitting in a chair, in an upgraded hotel room. He calls the show his ass is in a chair. His wife thinks he's weird. He got a beard. He loves the Jets, the Super Chats. He's a big fella. He's all alone in a room on a chair. That's a big fella.
Am I on? Did I freeze? Big fella?
You there?
Am I there?
I don't know. My screen's blank, so I really don't see anything.
I hear you. Do you hear me?
I hear you. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. The audience can see us right now. My computer completely froze right now as that intro was playing. So I hear you, big fella. But the only thing I see right now is actually just a still image of you sitting in the chair from the intro.
Hey, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. There you go.
All right. This is really back to my radio roots now. I can't see anything. I just see literally a cartoon version of you. But I hear you. So let's do a talk show until this works itself out.
All right. I appreciate it. I was thinking the easiest job in the world must be a job recruiter. It has to be. These people are looking for jobs. It's taking them months to get jobs. Bobby's been looking for a job since like February, March. And now it's June. And, I love Bobby, but, there are things out there. You just got to go get it. And Charles, I mean, you can't send in the wrong email. Nick Shine does deserve half his paycheck.
100%.
He absolutely deserves half his paycheck. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's crazy. Nick Shine is a saint, and he deserves a lot better initiative from Charles than what he's getting, in my opinion. But yeah. And by the way, nude beaches, topless beaches in Europe are pretty good.
In Europe.
Let's just say that. So, yeah.
What country?
Spain.
Spain.
Yeah. You got to go outside the country for stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's colder, the Yankees bats or the job searches of these two.
Honestly, what happens first? Bobby and Charles get jobs or the Yankees score a run?
It's crazy, right? I mean, it's nuts. I mean, with Judge being in a slump right now, I mean, it's like they have nobody hitting, like nobody. And I mean, just imagine how the season would have been if Cole didn't get hurt. It doesn't solve the batting.
Yeah,
it doesn't solve the batting, but
they're gonna hit again though. They're just collectively all slumping at. They do this every June. It's very frustrating. The June slump.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Nick Shine has a segment on his show. What did we learn? I learned that I should have been a job recruiter. That's what I learned.
It's free money. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah. I mean, you don't. It's like, and the thing is, when people get desperate enough, they do it on their own. So it's like they're getting paid for nothing. So I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway.
That was not my phone, Rick Kent. That was not my phone buzzing. Also, we're back. I could now see you, big fella. You look great.
Man. Cool. But like I said, that's all I got.
What did you think of Beast? How about Beast? Once again, raising the Q score in the community. Was a takedown of 6 rings.
Dude, I was laughing my ass off with that.
That was so. When he brought the bat out, I was like, yes.
He's like, listen, motherfucker. And I'm like, what? I'm like, hold on a second there. Now, Beast has come a really long way, man. And 6 rings, you can't be this dumb, bro.
It's like he doesn't understand the concept of the Patriot-Jet rivalry. It's amazing to me.
But the thing is, it's been explained to him, yet he still comes on wearing that Patriot shit. It's like, why? First of all, get a man's jersey. The women's jersey that's a bad look. Number one. Number two, get the point. We're Jets fans. I bet he doesn't even know who the quarterback was before Tom Brady for the Patriots. I bet I would bet money on that.
Yeah, probably not.
So, it's like, if you don't know the history and, now you're immersing yourself into it. By the way, your favorite player, Teddy Bruschi, is a steroid user. So, that's a good guy to look up to. But anyway, he's got to get the point. I don't want to keep bashing a guy, I just don't get it. It's become a big question for me. Like, why is he doing this? He says he has anxiety. Okay. Yeah. He calls a Jet show where people rag on him because he's a Patriot fan. What's the point?
Yeah, why does he feel like he needs this show in his life? If he's a real Patriots fan, why would you watch a show that covers it's not like we cover the Jets and all the other teams in the league, and it's kind of like a generic NFL show. We're going in depth today on the kicker battle that's going to take place in training camp. Who cares about that unless you're a Jet fan?
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, was he kicked out of the Patriots chat rooms? I don't know. Were they ragging on him there? And he was like, oh, I'll go to the Jet. I don't get it. By the way, Boomtown is still my favorite Canadian. So, Bobby, you need to apologize.
Great Canadian. I can't believe Bobby has beef with Boomtown. Bobby has fights with the weirdest people, man.
Boomtown's like one of the nicest people and one of the coolest people that I've talked to.
How about when Bobby's like, I'm glad Florida won the cup. It's like Boomtown's not even an Edmonton fan. He roots for the Senators.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure he doesn't care that much.
Yeah. It's not like the Olympics, man. It's crazy. It's like he. I don't know. I love Bobby. I wish he would show more initiative with the job thing.
How about the walking pad you sent him? He complains that he can't walk when it's raining. You paid good money to send him a walking pad.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, he did lose weight. Then he gained. I know he gained some back, but hopefully he's walking outside. I sent the walking pad to him as like a tool for him to get healthy. Whether he uses it or not, that's on him. But yeah.
Speaking of tools, Thunderlips super chatted. Has Charles even cooked on the air fryer I got him yet? Or is he storing high C ecto cooler in it?
I don't know, man. High C ecto cooler. That used to be good. That used to be really good.
I'm sure he probably hasn't used it, Thunderlips. He probably still has the toaster oven in the closet.
Well, it seems like all the stuff that we got, Charles, he isn't using. Like, I got him the bath mat and the whole bathroom ensemble for Batman.
Yep.
That seems to be, I would bet Roseanne took that out of there.
How about didn't you get him the penis candy? He got rid of that right away.
I did.
Yeah, he didn't slurp any of it down. Very offensive.
He didn't slurp any of that down. No, well. Yeah. He did that. So, I don't know. If he uses it, he uses it. But, I mean, it's like, make your own decisions, Charles. And
his parents knocked the squatty potty before they even tried themselves. That was my housewarming gift.
That's crazy, you know. So I've never tried that, but supposedly it's a great thing. You know, I used to see the commercials with the unicorn shit and purple ice cream.
I have your address, big fella, because you won raffle prizes and bought merch. I'm going to send you a squatty potty when you least.
No, dude. I'm good. I'm good. I mean, I don't know how it would be in my bathroom. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, if I want to get one, I'll just get one. But
maybe I'll send it to Beast for a job well done today.
Speaking of Beast, I don't know if his package came yet, but
family show, hey now.
No, that's true. Yeah, well, you know.
Hey Beast, did your package show up?
Negative. I've been keeping an eye on it. It keeps saying, "Oh, it's a little late in there." Yeah. So it's like, I'm not gonna yell and scream. Why yell and scream when you can have a cracker? Have some crackers. They're delicious.
Is that what you're eating there?
Some soup. These are crackers.
What are you putting on the crackers? Anything? You're going straight crackers?
No, I don't want to put anything on a cracker. These are perfectly fine. These are the saltines.
What kind of crackers are they?
The premium ones. These are the ones my grandfather used to get.
Oh.
All right. There's a challenge with saltines. You know that, right? Where
my grandfather used to get those when I was a little kid. He would always say, hey, what you see is what you get. You know, that's the way it is. My grandfather was a very, very, normal person. Him and his brother used to work at the Tribune down not too far from here. They did it for 46 years. They did a good job. But today was a statement to Patriots 12. If he wants more of me, I can lift him 7 feet in the air and just do a little open up the garbage can. Into the trash.
Hey, Beast, can you eat 5 crackers at once?
No, that's too much.
Hey, Beast, move the microphone. Let's see how many you could eat.
Yeah, let's see.
No. One at a time. One.
All right, but we'll put it all like in your mouth before you swallow it. Let's see how many you could fit.
I'm only gonna do 3.
I think you could do more than 3.
I think you could do 5.
You sure you want to do this?
Alan just said you're a pussy and you better do at least 7. Wow, he's calling you out.
Hey, Alan, I got something you can do in German. Fasten liquor. That means sucking in German. And I'm German. I'm German, you slime ball. And I can knock your teeth out and knock you out with one punch, jackass.
Let's eat some crackers, Beast. Here we go.
Let's see it.
Not too bad. Decent, average.
Oh, God.
A little dry, but what the hell?
I think we covered a lot of ground this call, big fella. Well done.
I think so, man. I really do. Hey, great show today, man. Really great show.
Big fella, you're the man. You're a huge part of it. Appreciate you as always. And be on the lookout. I might send you a squatty potty. You might not like it, but you're going to learn to love it. Also, when he said he's German, I was like, oh, dear God, this could be the end of the show right here. Man, if we did a top 5 of the most insane things that happened, I don't even know if that last call from Beast even makes it. Bobby, Charles, 6 rings, the nudist beach conversation, Alan talking about toes up his derriere. God. Ladies and gentlemen, a TED spot from the big fella. He was just on the show, and now he's got a chance to win a Justin Fields jersey. Give it up for the great big fella.
We are mama way.
All right. If you hear your name called, big fella just made you a channel member. Abby Baby, Robert Morris, Adam S., G. Laz, Peter Borbrio, Jugs Artist, Nate Bonifant, Adam Bolang, M. Schaff, all receiving channel memberships from the big fella. Appreciate you guys. Last chance here, truly. to get in the raffle. I'm trying to multitask right now and get all the names together so we could decide or determine, the wheel will determine who's going to win the Justin Fields jersey. If you win, once again, oh, yeah, Dylan, I forgot what word Charles used too. I just saw your comment. Yep, that was another one. Just what a show. This jersey is what we're giving away at the end. If you're just tuning in, if you win, email me what size you want it in. On that note, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play a video because I need to buy myself some time to count up all the raffle names. So I present to you a short clip from a recent Jake Asman program.
It's time for paying Charles to shave.
What the hell? You started already? You're supposed to do it on the air when I introduce you. What are you doing?
Shaving.
You were not supposed to start yet.
Sorry.
You're supposed to shave on the show. If you started shaving before the show, that doesn't make any sense. It defeats the whole purpose. You just robbed the people of the full experience, Charles. This is one of the biggest mistakes you've ever made in your entire life. People want their money back. This is ridiculous. Your pay's being cut in half. JQuest says how much to put him in the hole. $50. 10 memberships. Unbelievable. How do you look yourself in the mirror right now? Rick Kent says he's not even using shaving cream. No wonder why he cuts himself.
I am using shaving cream, actually.
How's the hole, Charles?
Great.
What you did is disgraceful.
Sorry, everybody. Actually, the hole's not that bad. It's actually very comfy.
Nick Sean writes in, does Charles getting in this hole mean he's still a virgin?
Yes.
You brought such shame to this community, Charles.
Don't know what else to say.
Is there anything Charles could do to try and get some sort of redemption? Dave Brigga says, shave the chest.
Fine, I'll shave my chest.
It is on you now to come through for the Asmaniac community. Otherwise, you go right back to the hole, buddy. Oh, good Lord. This is what the people want on a football Friday. Why are you doing it like that, Charles? This is how you ended up with a wound that we're still discussing weeks later. Up and down, not in a circle. Good Lord. North and south. I don't even think anything's happening. I don't want you to murder yourself live on the air. That could be a problem. I thought you have an electric shaver, like a buzzer. Is it even on?
It is on, yeah.
I don't hear the bzzz.
It's on, Jake. Look.
Shout out to anyone still watching this. At first, he was going like this, like with a circular motion with an electric razor. I'm like, what are you doing? Salem says, imagine this is the first video you stumble across. Oh, good Lord. Charles.
Yes?
What are you doing? This is what happened last time Charles shaved. Good Lord. Oh, good Lord. Here we go. He's using a straight edge now. Oh, this could end poorly, folks. Why aren't you using shaving cream? Don't use razors. This is not a good idea. Do not do this. Oh, good God.
Oh my God, we're gonna watch a man cut his own chest open and bleed out on YouTube, aren't we?
You're going too fast. Slow down with the straight edge, Charles.
Yeah, you gotta. No. Stop. This is unwatchable. Charles.
Yes.
You want to go like little stabs at a time. You don't want to drag it 12 inches down your chest. Hey, now rinse the razor out. Because you're quite a hairy little young man.
I inherited that from my father.
Thank you for that info.
He's going to get bumps the way that he's doing it. He's going to be itchy as hell tomorrow. I think we should cut it.
Charles, do you own aftershave?
No.
Well, that could be an issue with the itchiness.
He's got to learn his lesson, Mike.
And you know what? People paid good money for him just to shave his face.
That was a good stroke. You got a lot going on there. That was good.
Hey, now.
And you got to keep the razor clean out of the hair. You got to keep rinsing it out underneath.
Jake, how many people are online watching this?
189 people are tuned in live right now.
Go get it for yourself.
Looks pretty smooth. GTA,
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Yeah, I couldn't watch Charles shave anymore. Oh, God, I've seen that video too many times already. Ladies and gentlemen, the wheel is here. Thunderlips, I got you down in the raffle because I saw you sent in the super chat as I was counting the names. I'm not going to read it, but it's on the screen. Addison, you are the man, my friend. Gifting 2 memberships. Shout out to Addison, always supporting the show. And if you need help with ChatGPT, Addison's your go-to. And he is in the raffle for 2. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, music, please. Someone's going to win a Justin Fields jersey. Now, The positive is, if you win the jersey and Justin Fields stinks, you didn't pay for it. And you have a really cool jersey for at least the year. If you don't win the jersey, the good news is you still have another chance to win one of our weekly raffle prizes later this week. So, again, thank you to everyone who gifted. Going to do a lot of giveaways this month because it's June. And I really want to thank all the diehards who keep me afloat year-round, especially when it's slow and there's not a ton of news to react to. So, the winner of the Justin Fields jersey. Let's find out who it is. We spin the wheel right now. The winner is Frank P. Man, Frank is on some roll, but I'll tell you what, Frank definitely deserves it because he was the man who got us going with the 6 ring stuff today. He put 6 rings in the hole. Frank had 10 raffle entries off that, so congratulations to Frank P. You are the winner of the Justin Fields jersey. Frank, I have your address, so you just got to tell me what size you want the jersey in, or if maybe you're not a jersey guy and you want it sent to someone else, we could arrange that as well. Frank, in the last couple of days, he won a signed C.J. Mosley jersey, signed Kevin Mawai jersey, and today I sent him his signed Anthony Beck jersey, and now he's going away with a Justin Fields jersey. Frank P. I want to be as lucky as that man. Congrats to him. Awesome listener, great supporter of the channel, so I'm very glad that he's the one with the jersey. If you didn't win, you still got a chance to win some of our weekly raffle prizes. I want to thank the audience. You guys were great. Wild show. Thank you to Dylan Tereman, who came on, as he always does every Wednesday. He came on for 90 minutes, which is a long time, so we really appreciate that. We're back tomorrow. Bobby Midnight apparently is going to call in live from one of his walks. I will see it when I believe it, but he claims he will. Matt O'Leary joins us in the 10 a.m. hour to start off the show. Until then, I'll talk to you guys soon. Jets, 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 Jets.
Who was that lovely lady?
That was Carly.
Oh. Anyway.
Hold on. I stopped the show there. We've never had this in the history of the show. A 20 spot at the buzzer, Mimosa. I feel terrible. I wish I saw this. No, this was at 6:35. She literally just did this. My heart stopped. I thought I missed a 20 spot for Mimosa. That didn't count in the Fields jersey just now. Holy crap. Mimosa, I'm putting the helmet on for you. I will make sure that we get you down in the weekly raffle. Always good to get Mimosa in here. Hold on. This calls for the helmet. 20 names to read off. Mimosa's back. I was having some of the wine that Mimosa sent me the other night with someone. Mimosa, you're awesome. Shout out to you. And I'm going to have to play something fun for this. Hold on. Sound the alarms. Mimosa's back, baby. Strapping it up at the literal buzzer here. A 20 spot from the great Mimosa. Plantum Toast. Blake. Who have they played? Joe Campanelli. SB24 Projects. NYJ Pod. Fab Durf. Dylan Ra. John Reed. CC, EA, DeJuice Maine, Jeff Johnson, Joe Like a Boss Music, Christopher Casio, Boss of Bosses, Brandon Cohen, Gilbert Farmer, all receiving channel memberships at the actual buzzer. Boom, it's raining memberships, all of it. Mimosa, you're the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you. On that note, that's a show. Love you all. Thank you to Mimosa. Thank you to everyone who gifted, everyone who called in. Amazing show. Couldn't do it without the best listeners ever. We're back tomorrow. 2 more shows. Maybe the Yankees score a run tonight. Talk to you guys soon. Farewell, everyone. Give us a little moonwalk.
I can't. I got the ankle. Oh, do you not know what happened?
No. Did something happen recently?
Yeah, when I was in New York, I got hit by a car.
Is there security footage of this? Can I play it on the show?
So they would probably have the footage. I mean, what am I going to do with it now?
Gator's already working on a production of this. So
yeah, I think that's why I didn't want to bring it up.
I'm going to play a drop, and then that's your cue to make a face like you got hit by a car. You ready?
All right, I'll do it.
Here we go. Ready? And Gator writes in, can he throw the headset off and vomit?
Now there's a gas station
vacation over here. I'm gonna go get some pizza and see if they have any butter to put on it.
You could have died.
But I didn't.
Oh, take that, you pesky Patriots fans.
He's gonna die.
Hey, Dre, what do you think about Brock Purdy?
He's gonna die.
Get in the hole!